Let's be honest, schools taught us how to dissect frogs, but not how to build wealth. I mean, it's like we spent 12 years memorizing the Pythagorean theorem, but no one explained how to get out of debt, buy a house, or stop living paycheck to paycheck. So today, we're fixing that. In the next few minutes, I plan to break down 15 money lessons schools will never teach you, but they should have. Because let's be real, if schools actually taught us about money, half the country wouldn't be broke, and the other half wouldn't think a credit score is a personality trait. So without wasting any time at all, let's dive in. Lesson number 1, your income is not your wealth. Okay, let me first explain a concept to you that I want you to remember for the rest of your life. Schools taught us how to earn, not how to keep. You can make $100,000 a year and still be broke if your expenses and lifestyle keep up. Wealth isn't about what you earn. It's about what you keep, invest, and compound. Think about it. The average millionaire doesn't drive a Ferrari or wear Gucci belts. They drive Toyotas, live in normal neighborhoods, and quietly stack assets while everyone else flexes on Instagram. Seriously, that's why so many people with good jobs still feel poor, because they're playing the income game, not the wealth game. Just think about professional athletes. NBA players making $5 million a year go broke because they chase status instead of systems. Meanwhile, a janitor named Ronald Red quietly became a millionaire just by investing in dividend stocks. Simple rule, if your lifestyle grows faster than your savings, you're not rich, you're just temporarily comfortable. Which brings us to the next lesson. One schools definitely skipped, because if they taught it, we'd all be financially free before 30. Lesson number 2, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, and you're probably ignoring it. Albert Einstein supposedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world, but your math teacher somehow skipped that part. If you invest $500 a month starting at 20, you'll have around $1.2 million by 60. Start at 30, and you'll have only half that. Start at 40, you'll barely have a third. That's not magic, it's math. And once I explain this to you, you'll start to understand. The earlier you start, the more your money multiplies itself. Basically, here's the cheat code. You don't get rich by working harder. You get rich by letting your money work while you sleep. Compound interest is like a tiny army that fights for you, 24/7. The longer you leave it alone, the stronger it gets. But the school system doesn't want soldiers like that. They want workers, which leads perfectly into lesson number 3. Lesson number 3, schools train you to be an employee, not an owner. Let's be honest, the education system was designed during the Industrial Revolution. It's not teaching freedom, it's teaching obedience. You sit down, follow rules, wait for instructions. Ask for permission to go to the bathroom. That's not education, that's employee conditioning. They don't teach you how to build something. They teach you how to fit in something. If you ever asked, why don't we learn taxes or investing in school? The real answer is, that's not their goal. Their goal is to make sure you can work for someone who does understand money. Here's the real game. You'll never get rich renting out your time, only by owning systems, skills, or assets that work without you. And before we continue, when you finish watching this video, go back and watch our series on the stealth wealth mindset. If you only watch this video and try to apply it alone, you may run into some problems. That's why you need to watch the entire playlist to fully understand how. As always, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our members list to always stay updated. Which brings us to the next mind breaker. And this one explains why most people will never escape the 9-to-5 hamster wheel. Lesson number 4, time is your real currency. Every dollar you earn is just time you traded away. If you spend all your time making money, you'll never have the time to enjoy it. Think of your 9-to-5 like a subscription. You pay with your life. Most people trade 5 days of stress for 2 days of relief. That's not balance. That's survival. So the wealthy don't think in dollars per hour. They think in leverage per decision. If they can buy back their time with automation, investments, or outsourcing, they do it. Your freedom isn't in how much you earn. It's in how much time you control. And the moment you understand that, you'll also understand lesson number 5, why your job isn't actually secure, even if you think it is. Lesson number 5, job security is an illusion. School made us believe a steady job equals safety. This advice is nonsense because in today's world, one corporate restructure and your safe paycheck disappears faster than your lunch money in middle school. True security doesn't come from employment. It comes from skills, adaptability, and multiple income streams. Ask yourself this. If your boss fired you tomorrow, how long would you survive without a paycheck? That number is your real security. The rich aren't scared of losing jobs because they own the jobs. So let's fix that. Because lesson number 6 is how the rich quietly protect their money while everyone else leaks it like a busted faucet. Lesson number 6, taxes reward the informed and punish the ignorant. All right, I'm just gonna say it. Schools love teaching history, but somehow skip the part about how to stop giving half your income to Uncle Sam. The wealthy don't cheat taxes. They just understand them better. They own assets that get tax breaks, real estate, businesses, and investments. Meanwhile, employees get taxed before they even touch their paycheck. Here's the truth. The system isn't broken. It's just not built for the uninformed. If you want to pay less in taxes, own something. If you want to stay broke, stay on the payroll. And if that lesson didn't sting yet, this next one will, because it's the real reason most people never see financial freedom. Lesson number 7, debt isn't always bad, but most people use it wrong. Schools taught us that debt equals evil, but the rich know that debt equals leverage. Bad debt buys liabilities. Good debt buys assets. Using credit cards for shoes is dumb. Using credit to buy cash-flowing assets? That's genius. Robert Kiyosaki built an empire using other people's money legally. Meanwhile, average people drown in debt, buying stuff that loses value the second it's unboxed. The key is simple. If debt makes you money, it's a tool. If debt costs you money, it's a trap. Now, speaking of traps, lesson number 8 exposes the biggest one society set up to keep you broke without even realizing it. Lesson number 8, saving alone won't make you rich. Now, you've probably heard it a million times. Save your money. Cool. But have you noticed how saving alone never made anyone a millionaire? Inflation laughs at your savings account. Every year, that safe money loses value quietly while you pat yourself on the back for being responsible. Let's say you saved $10,000 in 2010. Today, that same $10,000 buys what $6,500 used to. Congratulations, you just got robbed legally by inflation. The truth, saving is step 1. Investing is step 2. You don't save to get rich, you save to invest and let your money multiply. Your money is like a lazy employee. If it's not working for you, it's costing you. And speaking of lazy employees, that brings us to the next money lesson that school completely forgot to mention, because it's the exact opposite of what they teach in classrooms. Lesson number 9, school grades don't equal financial success. Okay, look, you were probably told, get good grades so you can get a good job. But the richest people on earth, most of them were terrible students. Steve Jobs dropped out. Richard Branson dropped out. Heck, even Einstein said, education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Schools measure memorization. The real world measures application. Nobody's asking for your GPA when you're buying a house, starting a business, or investing in real estate. Your bank account doesn't care about your report card. What matters is learning how to solve problems and create value. That's the new A+, and that leads us right into lesson number 10. Because even if you're smart, if you don't understand this next one, you'll stay broke forever. Lesson number 10. Money flows to those who solve problems. Here's the harsh truth. The world doesn't pay you for working hard. It pays you for solving valuable problems. You can work 10-hour shifts flipping burgers or 2 hours designing an app. One gets you $80, the other could get you $80,000. The difference? Value creation. Most people say, I need to make more money. But the real question is, how can I solve bigger problems for more people? Jeff Bezos solved the shopping sucks problem. Elon Musk solved the gas prices suck problem. What problem can you solve? Because money doesn't chase degrees, it chases solutions. Now, once you start solving problems, you'll quickly notice something else. And that's lesson number 11. Why the system wants you distracted and broke. Lesson number 11. Consumerism is the modern trap. Schools never taught us how to think, just what to buy. We're surrounded by ads that say, buy this and you'll be happy. Wear this and you'll matter. Finance this and you'll look successful. Newsflash, that's not freedom. That's financial slavery in designer packaging. Every commercial you see has one goal, to make you trade your time and peace for stuff that loses value instantly. You're not falling behind because you're lazy. You're falling behind because you're distracted. The average American spends $1,200 a year on streaming subscriptions, but says they can't afford to invest. Here's the hack. Don't buy things to look rich. Buy assets that make you rich. And once you stop buying things you don't need, you'll finally have money for lesson number 12, the one that actually buys you freedom. Lesson number 12, passive income buys freedom, not salary increases. Here's the harsh reality schools never mentioned. You can't grind your way to freedom. You can only buy your way to freedom. And what you're buying is time. Most people chase promotions thinking an extra $10,000 a year will change their lives. But every raise usually comes with more stress, more responsibility, and more hours. That's not a raise. That's a shiny new leash. The wealthy figured out the secret early. Don't trade time for money. Make money buy your time back. Passive income is how you do that. It's money that flows even when you're asleep, traveling, or binge-watching Netflix guilt-free. Let's make it real. You buy dividend stocks. They pay you quarterly for owning a slice of a company. You own a rental property. Tenants pay the mortgage for you. You build a digital product or YouTube channel. Content works 24/7 while you're off doing literally anything else. Each dollar you invest into those assets is like hiring a tiny employee that never sleeps, never complains, and keeps depositing paychecks into your account. Now contrast that with the normal path. Most people wake up, hit snooze 6 times, drag themselves to a job they hate, and say, "I'll start investing when I make more money." But here's the twist. You make more money by investing. Your salary feeds your bills. Your passive income feeds your freedom. And the crazy part, you don't need to be rich to start. Even $50 invested every month in a high-yield ETF or index fund can snowball into 6 figures over time. The earlier you start, the faster your money soldiers multiply. The later you start, the longer you stay trapped in the rat race. So next time your boss offers a 3% raise, ask yourself, what if I built something that paid me forever instead? And to build that kind of forever money, you need to learn the one thing that matters more than any degree on the planet, and that's lesson number 13. Lesson number 13, financial literacy is more valuable than any degree. Here's a fun fact schools don't want to talk about. You can graduate with a master's degree and still not know how to file your own taxes. We've built an entire education system that can teach you how to write a 20-page paper on Shakespeare's metaphors, but not how interest rates quietly rob you every month. That's why financial literacy is the real diploma that matters. Think about it. If you understand how credit works, you'll never fear it. If you understand compound interest, you'll never ignore it. If you understand how assets generate cash flow, you'll never rely on just a paycheck. You don't need a $200,000 degree. You need to know how money moves. Let's get practical. Knowing how to build credit means getting cheaper loans and better financial leverage. Knowing how tax brackets work can save you thousands every year. Literally money you keep just from knowledge. Understanding investments turns your income into an engine, not a hamster wheel. Meanwhile, the average college graduate leaves school with student debt and zero understanding of how to repay it efficiently. That's like being handed the keys to a car with no idea how to drive. The rich treat money like a game, and financial literacy is how they learn the rules. The poor and middle class never read the rule book. So before you chase another certification, remember, a degree might teach you how to make money, but financial literacy teaches you how to keep it. And the best part, you can learn it for free. Podcasts, books, YouTube channels like this one. And once you finally understand how money really works, something strange happens. You stop trying to show wealth and start quietly building it. Which brings us to lesson number 14, how the rich move in silence. Lesson number 14, the rich don't flash, they move in silence. You know who flexes the most? The people who don't have it. The average millionaire isn't posting their watch collection. They're buying companies, not chains. The loudest person in the room is usually the brokest. Meanwhile, real wealth is quiet. It's the guy in the hoodie driving a 6-year-old Honda who owns 12 rental properties. It's the woman with no designer bag, but a portfolio that pays her 6 figures a year. The quiet rich aren't trying to impress you. They're too busy building freedom. And that brings us to the final, and most important, money lesson of them all. The one that ties every single lesson together. Lesson number 15. Wealth is a mindset, not a number. You don't become wealthy when you hit a certain dollar amount. You become wealthy the moment you start thinking differently about money. Wealthy people see opportunity where others see obstacles. They delay gratification. They invest in skills before splurging on stuff. They focus on ownership, not image. The broke mindset says, I can't afford it. The wealthy mindset asks, how can I afford it? The shift happens in your head long before it happens in your bank account. Because once you think like the rich, money starts to chase you. So now that you know the 15 money lessons schools never taught you, let's tie it all together and show you what to do next. If schools had taught these lessons, we'd all have financial freedom by now. But the good news? You don't need a classroom to learn wealth. You just need to start now. Start small. Read a money book. Invest $50. Track your spending. Build something that pays you back. Every dollar you control today is a vote for your future freedom. Remember, you don't need permission to get rich. You just need the right education, the kind they'll never teach in school. And if this video opened your eyes, comment the words, "I will be rich," if you're done playing small. As a matter of fact, there are actually 10 specific ways to become wealthy even on a small salary. We break it down step by step in our next video. To get the full scoop, just click the video on the screen now, and we'll see you in the next one.